Hello, my name is Megan Rizzo, and my experiment is on water filtration. The purpose of this lab is to find out how different filters have an impact on water quality. I hypothesize that charcoal will have the greatest positive impact on water quality because charcoal is made of carbon, and carbon has a chemical attraction due to bonding sites, so therefore is a water purifier. This is why I think charcoal will be the best. Water is essential to all things on Earth, but when looking at the broad spectrum, there is not a large quantity available for living organisms to consume. There are many minerals, bacteria, and contaminants in water that must be filtered out before it is potable. This lab is testing the levels of chlorine, nitrates, iron, copper, pH level, and hardness. All these must be regulated because too much or too little is harmful. This lab is used to gain knowledge on which types of filters are the most efficient at filtering water and which creates the best quality. Some of the materials needed are pond water, the filters, the water quality testing kits, and containers. First, you must obtain the materials and prepare them. Then place each filter in its own container. Next, test the water quality of the water before it goes in each filter. Then pour it in and let it filter. Lastly, test the water again and record the results. The independent variables are all the filters, so the peat moss, charcoal, sand, gravel, and coffee filter, and soil. The controlled variables are the pond water, amount of water, type of filter, the person testing, the filtering kit, and the time. The dependent variables are the amount of all the levels, so the amount of chlorine, nitrates, nitrites, iron, copper, the hardness, and pH. The experiment is a 6-in-1, so that is why I have multiple independent variables, but the filter is the independent variable. These are my results for trial 1, and as you can tell, the charcoal did the best job at filtering the water. The moss did the next best job. There was human air in this trial as well as the next because the gravel reduced the pH, which should not have happened. Here are my pictures for trial 1. As you can tell, trial 2 yielded the same results as trial 1. This proves the data is accurate with minimal human error and no outliers. The gravel is still the same as trial 1, therefore the pH is lower than it should be due to something that must have been on the gravel that was acidic. Here are the pictures for trial 2. The experiment went as expected and reflected the predicted results. Charcoal was the most effective, with moss being the next. Another thing that could be concluded is the smaller the particle size, the better the filtering properties, and the larger the particle size, the worse filtering properties, leaving the water quality the same. Some advantages of completing this experiment the way stated is it can be performed anytime, and the materials are easily accessible, as well as anyone can perform it. Unfortunately, this may not yield the most accurate results, and findings may be influenced by human error. A new direction that this lab could be taken is narrowing it down to one filter, so just performing it on certain types of soil or moss, for an example. The results of this experiment supported the hypothesis and proved that the charcoal has the greatest positive impact on water quality. Throughout this experiment, knowledge has been gained on what ordinary items have the greatest ability to filter water.